How do you deal with a friend who films instead of helps? I was spotting Devin Marsh on bench press when the bar slipped and crushed his throat. Not his fault, not mine either. Just a clip that failed on 275 pounds of iron. He made this wet choking sound, and his face went purple in maybe 3 seconds. I grabbed the bar and lifted it off him, adrenaline making the weight feel like nothing. He rolled onto his side, gasping, and blood came out of his mouth. Not a lot, but enough to know something was seriously wrong. I pulled out my phone to call 911, and that's when I noticed Devin's phone was already out. He wasn't calling anyone. He was filming himself on the gym floor, adjusting the angle to get his face and the blood in the same shot. "Holy shit, guys," he was saying to the camera, his voice raspy and damaged. "That almost killed me. Did you see that?" I stood there with my phone in my hand, watching him tilt the camera toward me. "My boy froze up," he said, still recording. Didn't even react. That wasn't true, and he knew it. I'd pulled the bar off him in under 2 seconds, but he kept filming, kept talking to his followers like they were in the room with us. The gym was empty at 5:47 in the morning, just us and the receptionist who couldn't see the weight area from her desk. Nobody to contradict whatever story he wanted to tell. I called 911 myself while he filmed his throat swelling up. The paramedics arrived in 6 minutes and loaded Devin onto a gurney. His phone was still in his hand, camera still rolling as they put the oxygen mask over his face. One of the paramedics asked him to put it away, and he just shook his head, kept filming. In the ambulance, he posted the video before they even started the IV. I know because my phone started buzzing with notifications while I was giving the gym staff my information for their incident report. Devin had tagged me in the post with the caption, "When your spotter panics and almost lets you die." The video already had 12,000 views. By the time I got to the hospital, it was at 100,000. His followers were commenting about how calm he stayed during a life-threatening situation, how he kept creating content even while injured. Some were calling me incompetent, saying I should never spot anyone again. Others were making jokes about freezing under pressure. I watched the view count climb while sitting in the ER waiting room, my hands still shaking from the adrenaline. The receptionist called my name and I went to the desk. "Are you family?" she asked. I explained I was his friend, the one who called 911. She told me he was getting a CT scan for his throat and they'd update me when they knew more. I sat back down and opened Instagram again. 200,000 views now. Someone had already made a meme using a freeze frame of my face. A doctor came out after 40 minutes and asked if I was the one who lifted the bar off Devin's throat. I said yes, and she told me I probably saved his life by acting so quickly. The immediate removal prevented a crushed windpipe that would have required emergency surgery. He had severe bruising and swelling, but no permanent damage. She said he was lucky. I asked if I could see him, and she said he was resting, but I could go back in about an hour. I thanked her and went outside to my car. My phone had died from all the notifications, so I plugged it in and watched it light up with hundreds of new messages. Devin's video was at 500,000 views. He'd posted 2 more from his hospital bed, one showing the IV in his arm, and another with him making a pained expression while pointing at his bruised throat. The captions were all about surviving a near-death experience and never taking life for granted. No mention of me pulling the bar off him. No mention of calling 911 while he filmed. I screenshotted everything before my hands started shaking too badly to hold the phone steady. Something told me I'd need proof of what actually happened. My manager called at 7:30 asking why I wasn't at work yet. I explained about the accident, and he got quiet for a second before saying he'd seen the video. Everyone had seen the video. It was on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, everywhere Devin posted. My manager said to take the day and we'd talk tomorrow about the incident. The way he said incident made my stomach hurt. I drove home and found my roommate Julian watching the video on his laptop. "Dude," he said when I walked in, "this is insane. Are you okay?" I told him what actually happened, and he believed me immediately because he'd known Devin for years too. He'd watched Devin transform from a regular guy who worked at a marketing firm into someone who built his entire identity around his online following. 800,000 followers on Instagram, 1.2 million on TikTok. Enough sponsorships to quit his job 6 months ago. Julian pulled up Devin's profile and showed me the engagement metrics. That's when things got out of control. Full story is linked below or on my channel.